the inspiring Riya Karumanchi.
Hey everyone, how are we doing today? I'm so excited to welcome you to the next 100 years of your lives and a look into part of the 15 years of mine. The world is changing at an exponential rate, and a lot of change boils down to one main thing, and that's technology. But when we take a look at human progress, we're about right here. But what's really exciting is that this is what's going to happen in the future. Things are changing rapidly, and I'm so excited for the immense change that's going to be happening and how all of us here are going to be a part of it. If we take a look and rewind to the world about 2 million years ago, it's crazy to find that all we had was literally just dirt. But what we've gotten to develop after that, the internet, iPhones, we've reached a whole new level of connectivity and have so many technologies that are available right at our fingertips. But soon, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum computing, raise your hands if you've heard about those things or tried a virtual reality headset. And give me a little shout if you really enjoyed them. Now, emerging technologies are going to make things like the internet and an iPhone look like gentle ripples on an ocean of history. But these are some of the technologies that are going to be coming out, and it's so exciting. Things like space exploration, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, genomics, literally the ability to edit your own DNA and even eradicate a lot of diseases in the world. It's insane, and all of us are going to be given a chance to be a part of this. But although we're seeing immense change happening around the world, we're not really seeing it happening equally in every single community. So last year when I was at my friend's house one day, I had a chance encounter with her visually impaired grandmother. And she was bumping into a lot of things when trying to get around the house. And after talking to her, she was telling me that she was using a device called the white cane, which was literally just a stick that had never been updated to take advantage of new technologies. And here I was looking at all the amazing things coming out around me, and it was just so baffling to see that nobody had innovated on something so traditional that was causing a lot of hardships for those who were visually impaired. And it inspired our team to create a solution, and that's where the Smart Cane came in. Smart Cane is basically a reimagined version of the white cane with technology like object detection, GPS navigation, and also something called computer vision, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. So now when you point your camera at different things, it can basically describe to you what they are through audio output. So it's kind of like your phone talking to you, and it's very helpful for a person that is visually impaired to help alleviate some of the struggles that they faced. And since starting it as just a science fair project, I never thought that we'd get this far. It started out as just an idea, and I was just 14 at the time, and I had no idea how I would in any way be possible to take it forward. But it went through talking to a lot of people, learning a lot of skills, taking online courses, and learning how to develop my skills in coding. And now we've gotten to make our minimum viable product, which is basically something that's ready for testing to eventually sell in a couple months, and have raised about $90,000 in funding and in-kind services. Thank you. You guys are awesome, and it's been an incredible journey. I've gotten to learn so much, and I'm so excited to share some of those lessons with you as well. But how can we get more change like this happening around the world? But the only way we're going to achieve substantial progress on the most challenging problems of our time is for more smart people like everybody in this room to start driving the solutions to them. But a lot of people, and a big barrier that stops people from solving a lot of important problems, especially in the social landscape, is that some people believe that you can only get either a return on investment or a return on humanity, which is a social impact. But a really important thing to acknowledge is some of the most challenging problems of our time, like climate change and the food crisis, are also billion-dollar opportunities. But if we want to solve some of the very challenging problems that we're facing right now, we have to have a good understanding of what they are in the first place. And we simply can't do that by staying within the bubbles that we're living in right now. It's so important to get new experiences, go out there, travel, talk to people in your communities, your friends, your family, go to a homeless shelter to get that additional perspective to expand your insight as to how the world works and what reality is. And that's how we're gonna be able to broaden our understanding of what's going on in the world. Problems like the food crisis, education, expanding access to healthcare, because we won't really have enough food by 2030, but that's because the population is going to increase to about 9 billion people. But every single problem is also an opportunity for all of you to use your skills to come up with solutions to that, and it is possible. It doesn't matter if you're 11 years old, 18, 30, or 40. Age is just a number, and I don't think it should be a barrier to actually seeing how you can have an impact. So what do the next 100 years look like? Things like artificial intelligence, nanotech, this is going to be a future, and I'm so lucky, and everyone in this room is so lucky to be able to be a part of that change. So things like artificial intelligence, it's crazy, and when we first think about something, we might think of a robot or a self-driving car. But how can we go a step further? Maybe self-driving cars. Maybe in the future, it'll be normal to just take a trip to Mars and come back on the weekend. But what artificial intelligence is also enabling us to do is being able to predict things. Predict things like when we're gonna get a disease and how to determine the best way to combat those. And that is insane, and I'm very excited about that. But even things like brain-computer interface. Raise your hand if you saw the movie Matilda. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies as a child, but when I found out that it wasn't just science fiction and you could actually control things with your brain in real life, I was shocked. So I did a little bit of research and I went into the field, and some of the projects that I'm building right now is actually how you can use the electrical activity in your brain to control different things. So I did things like controlling a Spotify playlist, so if you thought about it, it would click play, and even controlling a mini self-driving car. So it was a super cool project. But the amazing thing is, this stuff isn't science fiction, it's actually reality. And people are actually working on it today. Facebook is seeing how you can actually use your thoughts to type instead of typing with your fingers. But even things like genomics. Genomics is giving you the ability to edit your own DNA and even create designer babies and eradicate majority of the diseases in the world. But taking it a step beyond that, human longevity, despite just extending your health spans, imagine living like you're 20 until you're 90, or beyond that, imagine living until you're 150 or 200. Raise your hand if you'd like to do that. That would be a pretty awesome world. So if I were to leave you guys with about 4 main things to take away, I think the first thing would be that there is so much opportunity out there. Every single problem serves as an opportunity, and everyone in this room are going to be the girls that spearhead this change. Age doesn't matter, and gender doesn't matter, and I encourage all of you to see if you have an idea, just go for it. Because the worst case scenario is that you learn from it, and you never know what kind of things will open up from there. And another thing is, we need a lot more smart people working to solve a lot of these most important problems of our time. But the third thing is that you don't really need to be a rocket scientist to get a ship to the moon. And what I mean by that is, you don't really have to know everything in technology and marketing and finance, because what the importance of a leader is to lead that vision and guide a team to see how you can actually achieve your mission. And based on that, you can get people to work with you to help you get there. So it's all right if you don't know everything, but it's really important to leverage the resources available to you to see how you can do that as well. And the last thing is to take an unconventional path to achieve unconventional success. People like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, who invented Facebook, they were just regular kids as well. Nobody really told them that they would be the next CEOs or entrepreneurs, starting some of the biggest companies of our time. But instead, they were the outliers, and they did take that unconventional path, and you really got to zig when everyone else is zagging. So thank you so much for everyone for having me here today, and I hope you learned a little bit more about this. And STEM is an incredible field to go into, and I'm so excited to see all the change makers in this room solving some of the most important problems of our time.